Amanda Foster gazed out the window at her garden, quietly enjoying the aroma of herbal tea in her cup. March in Boston still held the chill of winter waiting for spring's arrival, but in the corner of the garden, crocuses were beginning to peek through. Amanda had just returned home from a busy day as a nurse and was finally enjoying this quiet moment. On the kitchen table was a note about dinner she had prepared before her afternoon shift began. "Lily, when you get back from school, heat up the chicken in the oven. David says he'll be home at 7. Love, Mom." Amanda had worked as a head pediatric nurse at the local Massachusetts General Hospital for over 10 years. Thousands of little lives had passed through her hands. Her professional eyes never missed a child's pain or suffering. Yet ironically, she had been slow to notice the recent changes in her own daughter. The sound of the front door opening interrupted Amanda's thoughts. "Mom, I'm home." Lily's voice had its usual brightness. Her 12-year-old daughter still retained some childlike qualities while gradually climbing the steps toward adulthood. Her bouncy brown curls and green eyes resembled Amanda's. "Welcome home. Do you have homework?" Amanda stood up and gave her daughter a light kiss. "Just a little. Math and English. But it's not difficult." Lily tossed her backpack onto a chair at the table. She opened the refrigerator and took out a bottle of apple juice. Amanda quietly observed her daughter. Lily appeared cheerful, but Amanda sensed something hidden behind those eyes. Was it just the beginning of adolescence? For the past 3 months, she had noticed slight changes in Lily's behavior. Previously, she often played outside with friends, but lately, she had been spending more time shut in her room. "Is David home yet?" Lily asked after taking a sip of juice. "He'll be home at 7. He's in charge of supervising the site today." David Foster was Amanda's husband of 3 years, working as a site supervisor for a local construction company. David had a gentle personality and had always been patient with Lily. Although initially wary of her stepfather, Lily had gradually opened her heart to David's consistent kindness. Amanda had raised Lily, who was born from her previous marriage, on her own. Lily's biological father, Michael, had run off with another woman when Lily was 5 and had lost contact since then. Amanda had tried several times to contact him about child support payments, but Michael had disappeared across state lines. "Is Uncle Thomas coming too?" Lily's question contained a hint of tension. Amanda shook her head. "I don't think so today. David didn't mention anything." Lily's expression seemed to soften slightly. Thomas Harris was David's childhood friend who had experienced a divorce 6 months ago and had moved from a neighboring town. To encourage his friend, David invited him over once a week to watch baseball or have barbecues together. "Mom, I'm going to do my homework." Lily stood up with her backpack. "Don't forget about dinner preparations." "Did you see the note?" Lily nodded. "I saw it. The chicken in the oven, right?" "That's right. Make sure it's ready to eat by 7. Lily went upstairs to her room. Amanda took another sip of her herbal tea and gazed out the window. Tomorrow was a holiday, and they had planned a family outing to go fishing at a nearby lake. David was looking forward to teaching Lily how to fish. On the surface, they were an ordinary, happy family. Amanda's cell phone rang, announcing a call from the hospital. It was a request asking if she could come in for an emergency shift. Amanda agreed and went upstairs to knock on Lily's door. "Lily, Mom has to go to the hospital for an emergency. I'll let David know, so you two have dinner together." The door opened, and Lily appeared. "Okay. Be careful." Amanda kissed her daughter's cheek. "You too. Tell David Mom went to the hospital when he gets home." After Amanda left for work, the house grew quiet. Lily lay on her bed, staring at her smartphone. A few minutes later, Lily suddenly sat up and rushed to the bathroom. She felt nauseous. This had been happening occasionally for the past month. Looking at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, Lily whispered softly, "What am I going to do?" When Amanda returned home from her night shift at the hospital, the house was completely silent. The clock showed 7 a.m. Dirty dishes were still piled in the kitchen, and on the table was a note from David. To Amanda, "Lily doesn't seem to be feeling well. I decided to let her rest and stay home from school. I'm heading to work at 8. With love, David." Amanda dragged her tired feet to Lily's room. She knocked but received no answer, so she gently opened the door. Lily was curled up asleep in bed. Hugging her stuffed bear, she looked like a young child still. Amanda placed her hand on Lily's forehead to check for fever. "Lily, are you awake?" Amanda called softly. Lily slowly opened her eyes. "Mom. Are you feeling sick? David left a note." Lily answered without sitting up. "My stomach hurt, but I'm okay now." Amanda observed her daughter with a nurse's eye. Lily's complexion was slightly pale, and there were signs of fatigue under her eyes. "Did you vomit last night?" Lily nodded slightly. "But just once. After David came home and we had dinner together." "Any other symptoms? Diarrhea or headache?" "No. I'm just tired." Amanda rubbed Lily's shoulder. "You can rest a little longer. Mom's going to sleep for a while too. I'll get up by noon." Lily closed her eyes again. Before leaving the room, Amanda noticed the textbooks piled on Lily's desk. Normally Lily was good at keeping things tidy, but lately her room had become messy. Amanda quietly closed the door and headed to her own bedroom. Around noon, Amanda woke up. After taking a shower, she knocked on Lily's door but received no answer. When she entered the room, the bed was empty, and sounds from downstairs indicated Lily was on the first floor. In the kitchen, Lily was eating toast. "How are you feeling?" Amanda asked. "Fine. Sorry for missing school." Amanda sat down beside Lily. "You haven't seemed yourself lately. Did something happen? Is something bothering you at school?" Lily lowered her gaze to her plate. "No, nothing. Really? I got a call from your teacher. They said your concentration has dropped." Lily gathered breadcrumbs with her finger as she answered. "The tests are getting harder, that's all." Amanda placed her hand over Lily's. "Lily, will you talk to me if something's wrong? I'll listen to anything." Lily looked up and met her mother's gaze directly. There was something in those eyes that stirred Amanda's heart. But the moment didn't last long. "Really, there's nothing, Mom. I'm just tired." That evening when David returned home, Amanda consulted with him about their daughter. In the living room, over coffee, they spoke in hushed tones. "There's something off about Lily lately. She seems to be hiding something." David tilted his head. "She's just entering adolescence, right? It's that kind of phase. She was always so active, but now she's becoming more withdrawn. She's been missing ballet classes and doesn't play with her friends anymore. She might have something troubling her." David sipped his coffee. "I'm going to watch baseball with Thomas tomorrow. Should I invite Lily? It might be a good change of pace." Amanda frowned. "If Thomas is coming, I don't think Lily will want to go." "Why not? Haven't you noticed? Lately, whenever Thomas visits, Lily immediately retreats to her room." David thought for a moment. "Really? Are you sure you're not imagining things?" "I'm not imagining it," Amanda asserted. "There's a reason." "Did Thomas say something to her?" David asked worriedly. Amanda shrugged. "I don't know. But I'll ask her." That night, while Lily was taking a bath, Amanda was putting away laundry in her daughter's room. As she reached under the bed to retrieve a fallen sock, her hand touched something hard. When she pulled it out, it was a small locked diary. Amanda held the diary, unsure whether to open it. She struggled between respecting her daughter's privacy and worrying that something serious might be happening. In the end, since there was no key, Amanda returned the diary to its original place. The next day, after David and his friend left for the baseball game, Amanda was having lunch alone with Lily. "Lily, I want to talk to you about something." Amanda chose her words carefully. "It's about Uncle Thomas." Lily's fork stopped mid-air. "What?" "I've noticed that lately when Uncle Thomas visits, you shut yourself in your room. Did something happen?" Lily stared at her plate without answering. "Lily, if something happened, tell Mom. Did Uncle Thomas say something to you?" Lily looked up. Tears welled in her eyes. "Nothing happened," her voice trembled. "I just want to be alone." "Lily, you can't hide anything from Mom. Something's going on, isn't it?" Lily suddenly stood up and shouted, "I told you nothing happened." Then she ran to her room, closed the door, and locked it. Amanda stood outside Lily's door, calling her name several times, but there was no response. An hour later, when Lily finally opened the door, her eyes were red and swollen. "I'm sorry," Lily said in a thin voice. Amanda embraced her daughter. "It's okay. But if you're troubled by something, talk to me anytime. Mom is always on your side." In that embrace, Amanda noticed a slight change in her daughter's body. Her stomach seemed a little more swollen than before. "Lily, how has your stomach been feeling lately?" Amanda asked carefully. "Normal." Lily stepped away from her mother's arms. "But it seems a bit swollen." Lily pulled at her t-shirt to adjust it. "You're imagining things." "It's nothing." Amanda didn't pursue it further, but her nurse's intuition was telling her something. The next morning, after Lily left for school, Amanda entered her daughter's room again to look for the diary. However, the diary that had been under the bed was gone. Amanda's cell phone rang during an important meeting at the hospital. The screen displayed Central Middle School. Amanda apologized to her colleagues and hurried into the hallway. "Foster speaking." "Mrs. Foster, this is the health office at Central Middle School. Your daughter Lily collapsed during class." Amanda's heart nearly stopped. "Collapsed? What are her symptoms?" "She complained of severe abdominal pain suddenly, then lost consciousness. She's regained consciousness now but is very weak. We've arranged for an ambulance. She'll be transported to City Hospital." "I'll be right there." Amanda hung up, returned to the meeting room to briefly explain the situation, and with her supervisor's permission, left the hospital. While driving, Amanda called David. When the call went to voicemail, she left a short message: "Lily collapsed at school. She's being taken to City Hospital. Come as soon as you can." City Hospital was a smaller regional hospital, separate from Massachusetts General Hospital where Amanda worked. When Amanda parked in the lot, the ambulance had apparently already arrived. As she hurried toward the entrance, Amanda paused at an unexpected sight. A police patrol car was parked in front of the entrance, with a uniformed female police officer and a male detective in a suit standing there. Amanda was confused for a moment but reasoned that police sometimes accompany emergency cases, so she quickly headed to the reception desk. "Lily Foster, age 12. She should have been brought in by ambulance. I'm her mother, Amanda Foster." The receptionist checked the name and replied, "Your daughter is currently being examined. A doctor will speak with you shortly. Please wait a moment." Amanda sat in the waiting room chair, anxiously watching time pass. She knew Lily hadn't been feeling well, but hadn't expected her to lose consciousness. The worst scenarios flashed through her mind one after another. About 30 minutes later, a female police officer in a blue pantsuit and a male detective in a gray suit approached Amanda. "Are you Amanda Foster?" the female officer asked in a gentle voice. Amanda stood up. "Yes, I am. Has something happened to Lily?" "You are Lily Foster's mother, correct?" the male detective confirmed. Amanda's hands began to tremble. "Has something happened to my daughter? Why are the police involved?" The female officer maintained a professional expression but spoke in a slightly softer voice. "Your daughter is safe. However, we need to discuss the situation. Please come this way." She walked down the hospital corridor and stopped in front of a door labeled Family Consultation Room. Amanda followed with shaking legs. Countless questions swirled in her mind. Why were the police involved? What had happened to Lily? Inside the consultation room, decorated with soft-colored furniture and plants, the calming atmosphere did nothing to ease Amanda's anxiety. "Please sit down," said the female officer. "I'm Detective Sergeant Grace Chin, and this is Detective John Mario." They showed their identification. Amanda nodded mechanically and sat down. "Mrs. Foster," Detective Mario began, "during your daughter's examination, the attending physician discovered some concerning issues." Amanda's throat went dry. "What do you mean?" Detective Sergeant Chin leaned forward and explained, "There are multiple bruises on Lily's body, and evidence of inappropriate contact. We need to investigate the possibility of abuse." Amanda was speechless. Her head spun, and she struggled to breathe. "Abuse? That's impossible. I would never abuse my daughter." Detective Mario said calmly, "Mrs. Foster, we understand how you feel. However, we need to proceed with an investigation based on the facts. This is standard procedure." Tears welled in Amanda's eyes. "Where is Lily? Please let me see my daughter." "You'll see her soon," Detective Sergeant Chin said gently. "But first, let me ask you a few questions. Who lives with your daughter?" "My husband David, Lily, and me. We're a family of 3, Amanda answered with a shaking voice. "Is David Lily's biological father?" "No, he's her stepfather. We remarried 3 years ago. But David loves Lily like his own daughter and would never raise a hand against her." Detective Sergeant Chin continued without changing her expression, "Had you noticed changes in Lily's body? About the swelling in her abdomen?" Amanda gasped. "I had noticed something. But when I asked Lily, she wouldn't tell me anything. Surely Lily isn't." She choked on the words. "Mrs. Foster," Detective Mario interjected, "where is your husband? Have you contacted him?" "He didn't answer the phone, so I left a message on his voicemail. He works at a construction site, so he might not have been able to answer." Detective Sergeant Chin and Detective Mario exchanged glances, then Chin quietly said, "Please call your husband here immediately." Amanda responded in confusion, "My husband should already be on his way. Why such urgency? Do you think David did something?" "That's impossible." "This is standard procedure," Detective Mario repeated. "To clarify the situation, we need to speak with all family members." Amanda called David again with trembling hands. This time he answered. "David, where are you?" "The police want to see you." Amanda's voice was distressed. "The police? What happened?" David's voice was confused. "I'm at Thomas's house right now. I was told to call when Lily was stable." Amanda's head was filled with confusion. Why had David left the hospital when his daughter was in a critical condition? He should have heard the message. And why was he with Thomas? "Come to the hospital right away." "City Hospital. There are police here," Amanda implored. "I understand, I'll be right there," David replied and hung up. The moment Amanda put down the phone, the consultation room door opened, and a tear-stained Lily entered with a female doctor in blue scrubs. Lily. Amanda stood up and rushed to her daughter. Lily threw herself into her mother's arms and began sobbing intensely. "Mom, I'm so sorry," Lily said between sobs. "What happened? Will you tell me?" Amanda asked while stroking her daughter's hair. The female doctor was speaking quietly with Detective Sergeant Chin and handed her some documents. Then the doctor approached Amanda. "Mrs. Foster, your daughter doesn't have any major physical issues, but she's under severe stress. If possible, we'd like to have a child psychologist join the conversation." Amanda nodded while still embracing Lily. Her mind was in turmoil, with fear, suspicion, and distrust swirling. She was torn between trusting David and feeling guilty for not protecting her daughter. The consultation room door opened, and a woman in her 40s wearing a chocolate-colored cardigan entered. "Hello, I'm Sarah Jenkins, a child psychologist," she smiled gently at Amanda and directed kind eyes toward Lily. "Lily, would you like to talk with your mother and me?" Lily shrank further into Amanda's arms. Amanda gently stroked her daughter's shoulder and said, "It's okay, Lily. Mom is right here." Detective Sergeant Chin stood up and signaled to Detective Mario. "We'll wait outside. Call us if you need anything." Only Amanda, Lily, and Miss Jenkins remained in the room. As light from the window gradually darkened, the room fell silent. Miss Jenkins sat directly in front of Lily and began speaking in a gentle voice. "Lily, you must have been very scared. But you're in a safe place now. No one can hurt you." Lily tightly gripped her mother's sweater and nodded slightly. "I heard you might have something you want to talk about. But you don't have to force yourself. When you're ready, you can talk at your own pace." After a moment of silence, Lily slowly raised her face. Her green eyes reflected deep sadness and fear. "Dad's friend." Lily's voice was hoarse and barely audible. Amanda caught her breath. "Do you mean Thomas?" Lily nodded slightly. "Uncle Thomas did bad things to me." Amanda's body froze. In her mind, the events of the past few months flashed by like a slideshow. Lily's changes, her fear of Thomas, David's absences, everything was beginning to paint a terrifying picture. "What kind of bad things?" Miss Jenkins asked quietly. Lily took a deep breath and closed her eyes as if searching for words. "At first, it was normal. He came to the house, we all talked, but when Mom was working night shifts and Dad was working in the garage." Lily's voice broke off. Amanda held her daughter tightly and whispered, "Go on, it's okay." Inside, anger and sadness were churning. "Uncle Thomas came to my room and said he had a secret game." Lily's words flowed out with her tears. "I didn't want to, but he said, if you tell anyone, your family will fall apart. That Dad and Mom would divorce, and it would be my fault." Amanda's body began to shake. She suppressed her anger while continuing to stroke her daughter's hair. "Lily, you did nothing wrong. You're the victim." Lily continued through her tears. "For 6 months, many times." Miss Jenkins maintained her professional composure, but deep sympathy showed in her eyes. "Lily, you're very brave. Telling the truth is very difficult, but you've done the right thing." At that moment, the consultation room door suddenly opened, and David rushed in breathlessly. "Lily. Are you okay?" Lily trembled with fear and hid behind Amanda. Detective Sergeant Chin immediately appeared and grabbed David's arm. "Mr. Foster, this way please." "What's going on?" "My daughter." David's expression was distorted with confusion and anger. "We'll talk in another room." Detective Mario appeared and led David into the hallway. After the door closed, Amanda gently gripped Lily's shoulders and looked into her eyes. "Lily, was David involved too?" Lily shook her head vigorously. "No. Dad doesn't know. But Uncle Thomas said, I'm Dad's important friend, so no one will believe what you say. Amanda sighed with relief. At least David was innocent. However, that only slightly lessened the severity of the situation. Miss Jenkins gently asked, Lily, can you tell us about your stomach pain? Why did you collapse at school? Lily placed a hand on her stomach. It hurt since morning, but I thought I had to go to school. During class, it got really painful, then I felt dizzy. Amanda stared at her daughter's swollen abdomen. Lily, are you pregnant? The door opened again, and the female doctor entered. After speaking quietly with Miss Jenkins, she turned to Amanda. Mrs. Foster, the test results are in. Lily is not pregnant. Amanda was confused. But her stomach. Lily's condition is what we call a phantom pregnancy, the doctor explained carefully. Due to severe stress or psychological trauma, hormonal balances can be disrupted, causing the body to react as if pregnant, even when there is no actual pregnancy. Amanda looked at her daughter. To think that Lily's small body had responded to fear in such a way. The abdominal pain is a physical response to severe stress. Also, there are multiple bruises on Lily's body consistent with evidence of inappropriate contact, the doctor explained in professional terms, but the implication was clear. From the hallway, David's angry voice could be heard. I can't believe it. I'll kill Thomas. 20 minutes later, David was permitted by the police to enter the consultation room. His face was pale, and his eyes were red and swollen. He stopped at the door and looked at Lily. Lily. David's voice trembled. I'm sorry, so sorry. Lily cautiously looked at her stepfather from within Amanda's arms. David didn't approach, just stood there. I trusted my friend too much. I didn't notice, can you forgive me? Amanda looked at David. His eyes reflected deep sadness and guilt. He would never forgive himself for failing to protect his daughter. Detective Sergeant Chin came in again and said, Mr. Foster, we have secured Thomas Harris. He is currently being questioned at the police station. For the first few seconds, the room was completely silent. Then Lily asked in a small voice, does that mean I don't have to see Uncle Thomas anymore? Amanda and David answered simultaneously, you'll never have to see him again. We'll never let him near you. Later that night, Lily was admitted to the hospital for an overnight stay. Amanda sat by her daughter's bedside, holding her hand until Lily fell asleep. David sat on a bench in the hallway with his head in his hands. The police explained the prosecution procedures to Amanda and David. Lily would undergo specialized child-focused examinations and psychological counseling. It was the beginning of a long and difficult journey. Outside the hospital window, rain had begun to fall. Amanda gazed at Lily's sleeping face and quietly shed tears. In her mind, one vow was engraved, I will protect my daughter absolutely. From now on, I will watch more carefully and not miss the subtle signs. Amanda gently squeezed Lily's hand. One morning a month later, Amanda was making coffee in the kitchen when she glanced at the backyard. She could see David creating a small flower bed with Lily. The two of them were silently tilling the soil and planting colorful spring flower seedlings. Thomas Harris had been arrested and charged with sexual abuse of a child. Police investigation revealed that Thomas had committed similar acts in another town in the past, though he had no criminal record. David, deeply hurt by his friend's betrayal, continued to support Lily and Amanda. Would you like some coffee? Amanda went out to the backyard and called to them. David turned around and smiled. Thank you. Lily stood up, wiping her soil-covered hands. Her complexion had improved, and the swelling in her stomach had disappeared. She was attending psychological counseling twice a week and gradually returning to normal life. Mom, look. I planted marigolds. Lily's voice was beginning to regain some of its former brightness. They're beautiful, Amanda peered at the flower bed. I'll call you when lunch is ready. Back inside the house, papers were spread across the kitchen table, preparations for Thomas's trial and Lily's therapy schedule. Family recovery was not easy. Lily often had nightmares and occasionally showed fear toward David. Amanda struggled with guilt, wondering, why didn't I notice sooner? The three began attending family counseling and gradually rebuilt their trust. David adjusted his work schedule to spend as much time as possible with his family. He had started community activities for child abuse prevention with other adults who hadn't noticed. Amanda also became involved in developing a nurse training program at the hospital for early detection of abuse. She used her experience to spread professional knowledge so that other families would not suffer the same pain. Mom! Lily came running in. Can I join that group Jennifer the counselor was talking about? Lily was referring to a support group for children who had similar experiences. She had initially refused to participate but now was showing interest on her own. Of course you can, Amanda stroked her daughter's hair. After hesitating a bit, Lily said in a small voice, I want to help kids like me. So no child has to be alone anymore. Tears welled in Amanda's eyes. Despite her deep wounds, her daughter had not lost her compassion for others. At dusk, the three of them were having dinner on the backyard terrace. David made a joke to Lily, and for the first time in a long while, her laughter echoed in the garden. Hearing that sound, Amanda felt genuine relief for the first time. The road ahead was long, with many challenges awaiting them. But they had begun walking together as a family. Despite carrying the pain of the past, they had found hope for tomorrow.